All right, brother, I got you. I'm not trying to waste your time, so let's chop it up. This question, this comment, as well as many others on my video were about a post I made saying that today I found information stating that my church here in Texas signed a deal with the nation of Israel, stating that they are going to allow geofencing to be put around our property and are going to be sharing metadata of individuals who attend their congregation regularly, and those individuals will begin receiving what they are referring to as targeted pro-Israel advertising campaigns. For those of you who don't know what geofencing is, it's basically like an electronic fence that you put around an area. When you enter into this area, your phone is going to connect to this geofence and it will begin the process of sharing metadata. Like the shit your phone's doing in the background. I'm just going to keep it simple. They are then going to use this metadata to choose which propaganda ads will be most effective on changing your opinion about Israel. Now, the number one source that I can find about this right now, just to give you something generic, it's not some obscure independent researcher or some obscure independent news outlet, is an article blatant from December on Yahoo News. So an American California-based company called Show Faith by Works LLC filed an 86-page document under something called the Foreign Agents Registration Act. For those of you who don't know what a foreign agent is, it is somebody from a different country who is planning on pushing their country's agenda in America. Why we allow this at all is insane. But in this 86-page document, it details out specifically how this marketing company is going to utilize geofencing targeting megachurches across the U.S. in order to push out targeted advertising campaigns that have pro-Israel and/or anti-Palestinian sentiment. Now, originally, this article and this filing, this 86-page filing, only lists 4 countries: Arizona, Nevada, California, and Colorado. But further into the document, it goes on to talk about how certain states with very large megachurch presences will be prioritized during their second wave of advertising, Texas being one of them. A statement was recently released stating they have made and are working on partnerships with over 200 megachurches across the state of Texas. My church, I wouldn't call it a megachurch, but it's the biggest one in my city, and it is on the list. So are places like Joel Osteen's Lakewood. Additionally, this article goes on to say there is funds set aside for some pastors who could receive up to $250,000 cash in what they are calling the Pastor Support Fund. So your pastor can now sign a deal with a company who is working for Israel, receive $250,000 cash in his pocket, and give all of your cell phone data away to the country of Israel. I'd also like to add this 86-page document goes on to say that the Israel Ministry of Foreign Affairs are the one hiring them to file this document, because this document can't be filed by a foreign government. It can only be filed by an American company. American company. So yes, this is real. I plan to do my best to speak to my pastor about this next week, because I've been going to this church for a very long time. I went as a kid and just started back up again about 1.5 to 2 years ago. This is scary. My pastor is allowed to have his own opinion, but he should not be taking cash in his pocket to have my opinion changed. Especially when it's the ideology of an individual nation state who is governed by a religion that is different than mine. If you're going to propagandize me, at least do it with the religion I already follow, Jesus.
I'd also like to add that it was Israel who turned in Jesus to the Romans to be crucified in the first place. Oops.